Welcome back to Iran Protests Weekly, where we round up the protest rallies of Iran's people against the mullah's regime. We begin this week's program with the widespread, nationwide protests in response to frequent water and electricity outages in Iran. After more than 40 years of devastating policies, Iran has become a battleground between the people and the clerical regime. Every day, in cities, villages, and every corner of the country, the rightful voices of people crying out for the basic necessities of life can be heard. On Wednesday, Rasht witnessed an uprising and protest by a large crowd of angry people who gathered in Sabze Maidan Square, shouting their protest against water shortages and frequent power outages. They chanted, "Water, electricity, life are our undeniable rights." The regime's repressive police forces, fearing the spread of the gathering, attacked the crowd on motorcycles, but were met with brave resistance from the people. On Saturday, Sharacord saw a protest gathering by industrialists in front of an industrial complex due to frequent power cuts. According to the protesting industrialists, this situation has not only brought production to a standstill, but has also jeopardized the employment of hundreds of workers. On Sunday night, Nurabad village in Mamasani, Fars province, also witnessed a gathering and protest by people fed up with power outages. The police forces, fearing the spread of these protests, mobilized their forces to disperse the people, but were met with the steadfastness and resistance of the protesters.
درگیری در اداره برق دلیل 4 ساعت قطعی برق.
On Monday, the cities of Feridunkanar and Babelsar saw widespread protests by people against frequent and prolonged power outages.
به فروشم دیشب 9-11 بردن، امروز 9-11 5-7 الان هم بردن. خدایی دارم میوه‌امو میریزم بیرون. اجاره مغازه کارگر یعنی چی آقا؟ یه بار 2 بار 3 بار این موقع شب.
On Wednesday, Zabol, with a scorching temperature of 50 degrees Celsius, also witnessed a protest gathering by people objecting to long hours of power cuts.
چون نوکر مردمی اصلا قرار نیست که تو اینجا پیام خدمت مردم کدا خدمتون ده کدا خدمتون قبل مردم انجام داده چون بدبختی مردم چه بسر مردش فقط چون بدبختی مردم هر چیز مردم داشت.
The extent of corruption and devastation from the south to the north of the country has put the people in such dire straits that even the residents of Tazakan village in West Azerbaijan province raised their voices in protest on Tuesday against the lack of drinking water. The northern regions of the country, which should not face water shortages due to their geographical conditions, have now been without potable water for days. In Sanandaj on Tuesday, shopkeepers of the Tanakura market also protested against power cuts. On Sunday, Isfahan witnessed a protest gathering of mining and steel retirees who raised their voices against the ruling oppression and injustice, and the trampling of their most basic rights. On the same day, Khuzestani retirees gathered in front of the Social Security Organization and voiced their protest against their chaotic living conditions and the recurring crisis in water and electricity supply. On Sunday, Tehran also witnessed a protest by educators who retired in 2021, held in front of the regime's parliament and the Plan and Budget Organization, demanding their unpaid dues, which have been delayed for many months. On the same day, Social Security Organization retirees also held a protest gathering. Retirees in Rasht also held a gathering to protest their difficult living conditions. On Sunday, oil employees in Avaz gathered to protest their working conditions. This was a nationwide gathering to protest the unanswered demands of the hardworking oil workers. The areas participating in this protest included the 40 platforms of the Pars Oil and Gas Company, the South Pars Gas Complex, multiple refineries, the Pars Oil and Gas Company in Asaluya, and the Pars Special Economic Energy Zone. In a related development, the families of operational staff in the oil industry in Jam Oil Town, located in Bushehr province, also joined this protest, declaring their solidarity with this nationwide action.
تجمعات صنفی در رابطه با سقف و کف حقوق و رسیدگی به مطالبات ماده 10 و بازنشستگی را شروع کرده ایم. باید بدانید ما بابت مطالباتمان که حق مسلم زن و بچه‌های ماست تا به نتیجه رسیدن کامل به اجتماع اعتراضی خود ادامه می‌دهیم.
And in the past week, truck drivers, for the third consecutive day, gathered and marched in front of the clerical regime's Ministry of Industry, Mine and Trade, voicing their protest and anger over the non-release of their trucks, for which they had already paid and have been blocked at customs. This week, hundreds of trucks also went on strike on the Babaye Expressway due to the lack of diesel fuel quotas, parking their trucks on the side of the road in protest. On Friday, nearly 200 fuel tanker trucks, which had been stranded at the Rimdan border for days in a collective and protest action, broke the chains of the entrance gate and crossed the border terminal.
کندن زنجیر رو کندن داره همه مرا.
This week, a group of applicants for the 608-unit housing project in the new city of Amir Kabir held a gathering to protest the non-delivery of homes for which they had already paid. According to the protesters, the initial agreement required applicants to pay a total of about 7.5 billion rials, but the amount now being demanded has exceeded 20 billion rials, while the project has only progressed by about 7%. On Tuesday morning, a group of applicants for the National Housing Movement Plan in Chahar Mahal and Bakhtiari province gathered to protest the slow progress of this project in the region. On Wednesday, applicants for the 624-unit National Housing Movement project in Rasht also held a protest gathering against a 5-year delay in the delivery of their homes and a sharp increase in costs. This week, nurses at Konarak Hospital went on strike and held a protest gathering over 10 months of unpaid back wages, benefits, and legal dues. These nurses, who have been serving for months under difficult conditions, high work pressure, and severe staff shortages, held placards in the hospital courtyard and demanded their rights. This past week, livestock farmers in Fars province held a large gathering, protesting the lack of barley imports for livestock, the severe price hikes of inputs and fodder, and the government-mandated pricing of meat by regime officials. Contract employees of high-voltage power substations gathered in front of the regime's Ministry of Energy to protest their living and working conditions. And this concludes this week's edition of our weekly roundup of Iran protests. We hope we have been able to echo the voice of the Iranian people's protests. Until next time.
Follow the People's Mujahideen Organization of Iran on YouTube, Facebook, X, and our website.